Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now show where we get you answers for all of your stock-related query. Remember, viewers, you can connect to us on the WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screen. And you can write to us or your stock-related query. And do remember, if you already purchased the stock, mention the buy price or quantity as well as the time horizon. In that way, our experts will be able to help you better. And talking about our experts, today we have Kush Bohra joining us on the technicals. While on the fundamentals, we have Rajesh Agarwal joining us. A very good morning to you, Kush, as well as Rajesh. Thank you for waiting by patiently. Let me kickstart with the queries then. And this first one is coming in from our viewer Satya. A couple of stocks that he's mentioned, but the point being that I can't take 4 stocks. So I will try and take at least 2 stocks that he has. He's saying that if there is any need for him to go ahead and book profit in counters like ITD Cementation as well as Viatech Vabag. In ITD Cementation, he's saying that he's making about 200% profit in Viatech Vabag. It's 100% profit. For the next 12 to 18 months, what should he do and what should he book profits or stay put with them? What's your take on this, Kush?
Hi, Rajesh. Hello, Srishti. Well, slightly divergent views. First, congratulations actually to the investor for, making the stupendous returns that he's making. From a 12 to 18-month perspective, ITD cementation might consolidate the returns, may not be, phenomenal going forward. We are seeing some sort of consolidation. While the stock could see some upside, say to the levels of perhaps 710, 730. I think the bigger, return is yet to be made in the likes of Viatech Vabag. So my suggestion would be to book partially in ITD cementation and hold the rest for levels of 720. While Viatech Vabag, they can continue to hold. A target here comes at about 1250 to 1300 odd levels.
All right, that's the take coming in on this particular counter. Very good morning, Kush. Very good morning, Rajesh. And Rajesh, coming to you for the next query. This is from Raji from Mumbai, and he wants to buy Jupiter Wagons and CG Power since they have run up quite significantly. Do you believe that they still offer a good price to enter at current market price?
Good morning, Kush. As far as both the counters are concerned, Jupiter Wagons or CG Power, yes, you said it right, that both of them have run up quite a lot. In fact, Jupiter Wagons, if I'm not wrong, it has gone 3-4 times from a recent lows in last 1 year or so. But still, I think with the kind of order book this company has, Jupiter Wagons, especially on the wagon side, and they have raised some money also for YP and all. I think this company can do very well going forward, considering the fact that there are new orders coming in from the railways. There are big projects coming up from the railway side with the focus of the government on the railway infrastructure and all. I think this company can move to 600, 620 odd rupees in the next 1 year. And second one, CG Power, the company has been doing well. There have been talks of some corporate restructuring or some takeover that I can't confirm at this point of time. But as far as the numbers are concerned, I think everything has been discounted in the price. If something of that sort happens, it might shoot up. But still, fundamentally, I think one can continue to hold for a target of $700.
All right. Coming back to you, actually, Rajesh, this one is coming from Arvind Reddy, who's writing to us from Hyderabad on Bank of Maharashtra. 400 shares at a price of 52 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should add some more or in his portfolio or just hold on to the present position in Bank of Maharashtra. He's saying that he can hold on to this counter for the next 2 years or so.
Of course, considering the current fundamentals, one can add Bank of Maharashtra. We have been recommending since a very, very long period of time. The numbers have been pretty good, not only this quarter, but if you look at last 3-4 quarters, it has been consistent performer. It has been one of the best numbers given out on the PSU side. I think one can continue long on this. Everything is in the favor, whether it's NIM or asset quality or loan deposit growth, everything is good. One can add to this and continue to hold if existing position is there.
All right, then moving on. And Kush, let's talk about HCC because Neeta Jeswani has bought 1,000 shares and her buy price is 38 rupees. And what a great run up in today's trading session we have seen in HCC. What to do next and any near-term targets to look out for as well?
Well, continue to hold. The stock was consolidating rather in a very broad range, let's say from 39 all the way up until 34. But today, just broken above that. The volumes are also pretty decent. I think the up move from here on can continue. Since the buying price is fairly low, my suggestion here would be to keep a trailing stop loss somewhere close to 37 and a half, perhaps 38 levels, and ride this wave. From a near-term perspective. 42.5 is the first level that I'll watch for. And once that is taken out, 46 is the next level to watch for. So continue to hold. 37.5, 38 should act as a trailing stop loss now.
Coming to you, this one's coming from V. Murli, who's writing to us from Bangalore. He wants to know about Jana Small Finance Bank. He wants to know whether he can buy this counter at current levels, given the fact that the company seems to be ticking all the boxes, BP or price to book, growth. Also, the management sounds extremely confident. I had the opportunity to interact with the management as well about 2 weeks ago, and the management was pretty confident also going ahead. So do you think it makes sense to go ahead and buy Jana Small Finance Bank right now?
For me?
Yes, for you, Rajesh.
Yeah. Yes, you said it right. The numbers have been pretty good. It has been growing very well, but still I feel why go for a small finance bank? There are risks involved until it's converted into a universal bank. Planning to convert into a universal bank anytime soon. There are better choices in the banking space on the PSU side, mid-cap space. Just now we have talked about Bank of Maharashtra. That's a good bet, or even Bank of Baroda or Canara Bank would be a better bet than what Jana Finance Bank is.
All right, that's the day coming in on Jana Small Finance Bank. Moving on, and Kush, the next query is from Bisaka, and he's holding two counters from the capital goods space. Beg your pardon. Firstly, Siemens. He's holding 10 shares and a buy price is 3,118 rupees. And he also has ABB India 5 shares from a price of 4,263 rupees. Given the strong run-up in both of these names, good time to book out profits or continue to hold on?
Well, if they don't really need the money, there isn't, a need to book out per se. While both the stocks have hit, overbought territories, this is a market where the strong keep getting stronger, right? So, and, the capital goods space has been, gaining from strength to strength for the last, 2, perhaps even 3 years now. Both these stocks will continue to move higher from here. There could be bouts of volatility where both of these stocks could correct anywhere from 5 to 10% from here on before making that as a base and moving higher. But given that his buy price is low and he's held on practically for the stocks to be doubled and a little more than that, I'm assuming he's a long-term investor. So don't get sucked into this volatility and the fact about you really need to time the market so well. Just ride on any kind of tips that you get, anywhere from the tune of 5 to 10% should be taken as an opportunity to add both Siemens and ABB.
All right, on that note, we'll slip into a break in this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. When we come back, we'll continue taking your queries. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now, and let's keep it going with all your stock-related queries then. And the next query that I have is coming from Srinath from Chennai. And Kush, he's looking for a short-term view on 2 defense stocks as well as 2 railway counters, and he also wants like the top picks from you from these 2 sectors, that any of the stock that you still like at this point for a fresh entry, and the short-term targets on the same as well.
Names have already ran up quite a bit. We still like HAL and VEL, from this space. And as I said, they've already run up a bit. So the best way to play would be perhaps to wait a little for these to come down and then, look for an entry point. You should be lucky enough to get that for at least the next week or 2. But, these are 2 stocks, that you should keep on your radar. Any dip that you get, anywhere from, let's say 3 to 5% on these names should be something that, you should continue to, accumulate. So HAL and BEL are the 2 stocks, from the defense space. As far as the, railway sector goes, Texrail is one stock, that we like a lot. Jupiter Wagons already been discussed, so won't repeat that again, but that is also stock we like. So Texmaco and Jupiter Wagons, these are the 2 stocks from, the railway space, that we continue to like. So HAL and BEL from the defense names, and Texmaco Rail and JWL from the, railway pack are the 4 stocks that, I will have on my radar.
Actually stay with the railway space then. And coming to you, Rajesh, this one is coming from Dhanlakshmi, who's a long-term investor. Wants to know about Titagarh Rail System, already purchased at levels of 1,080 rupees per share, about 100 shares of Titagarh Rail. Wants to know whether to book profits or continue to hold on to this particular counter. What's your take coming in on Titagarh? Do you think that the runway for this one to go higher is actually much more longer than one would actually expect?
So I think it can go to around 1,400 odd rupees in the next 9 to 12 months. At this point of time, maybe some consolidation might take place because of the kind of run-up it has seen, but the kind of order book the company has, not only in the domestic market, but they have some presence in the international markets too. And both of them are doing very well. Debt has been reduced to some extent. Numbers have been pretty good. I think one can continue to work.
All right, moving on. And Kush, the next query is from Gargi from West Bengal, and she has bought shares of Delivery and her buy price is 451 rupees. We didn't see not a great set coming in from Delivery this time around, and even the brokerages didn't like the result much. But technically, how is the stock looking like? And in the short to medium term, what do you expect from this?
Well, there was a consolidation with a strong negative bias. We've seen a breakdown come in today. Now, I know that the stock's in deep red from her buying price. My suggestion would be to keep a trailing stop loss, close to the day low today, which is at 380. If that is broken, the texture could get further worse. But if that is held, they could see some sort of a rebound here. I don't expect the stock to recover all the way to her buying price, but if 380 is held for, let's say, today or perhaps even tomorrow, the stock could head to 410, 415 kind of levels where they could start, exiting at a much lesser loss.
Okay, this one is coming from Subramanian, writing to us from Chennai. And Rajesh, this one is for you. The viewer is sitting with 65% profit in Karur Vysya as well as about 82% profit in Karnataka Bank. He wants to know whether he should stay put with both of them or look to book out of them with profits. And also, any idea on Go Digit IPO?
See, I think one should book partial profit in Karur Vysya Bank. Numbers have been good, but still the prices have run up quite a lot, and a partial profit booking is expected, recommended into this. Karnataka Bank, one can continue to hold. The numbers have been good. Considering the number of branches and the kind of numbers it has, it's still trading at a huge discount to what it should be. So one can continue to hold, even add on depths. As far as Go Digit IPO is concerned, I believe the IPO has already been closed, if I'm not wrong. So now let's wait for the listing. Let's see how it happens. But the numbers were not that exciting, but still on the valuation parameters and other performance, I think one should have applied for the IPO for flipping gains.
Right, that's the take on Go Digit IPO as well. But moving on, and Kush, one of the stock is MTR Technologies, which has seen a decent run up in the last couple of days. And Krishna from Bangalore is already holding the stock from a buy price of 1,950 rupees. Should he book profits at this point in time or continue to ride the rally?
Well, I think the entry point is fairly attractive. So, my suggestion would be to continue to ride. We are seeing the stock move higher on the back of good volumes for the past three sessions. The near-term hurdle actually will come about 100 points higher from here, 2175 where the 200 DMA is placed. I think the stock's now turning a corner around, so they should continue to hold. The buy price or maybe just a little higher should act as your trailing stop loss now, and continue to hold, ride this momentum. You could see the levels of 2175, and once that is taken out, perhaps 2300 as well, given the current momentum in the stock.
All right, this one is coming in for you once again, Kush. This one is from Anand. He's writing to us from Bangalore. He wants to know if it's a good time to buy IndusInd Bank as well as SBI Card. What's your take on both of them on the charts? Do you think it's a good bet right now?
Well, Chill, so assuming that this is a trading bet, my suggestion would be to avoid both of them. SBI cards more so. Every rise has been a selling opportunity. There is a strong resistance of a falling trend line as well on SBI cards on the weekly basis. So SBI cards is an avoid. IndusInd Bank for now is an avoid because of the near-term downturn that has been seen. But I will be on the watch out, for some support zones and from where the stock does turn around. There is a strong support at 1350 odd levels. So if it does take that support and does show a rebound, I'd be inclined to buy. maybe not just yet. As I said, from a trading perspective, in this there's a wait and watch, and SBI cards can avoid.
All right. Rajesh, the next query is from Bandhan Bank. Mohit has bought 500 shares and his buy price is 187 rupees, quite close to the current market price. Though his time horizon is for the next 2 years, but given the disappointment in the earnings back to back from Bandhan Bank, do you believe that the valuations are quite cheap at this point in time and this could be a turnaround story in the times ahead?
See, you said it right. The numbers were pretty bad, almost 92% cut in the bottom line. That was a huge disappointment, I would say. One reason might be because of their exposure to the Assam and other neighboring states where recovery is quite slow. And that is the reason. But considering the kind of number of branches it has, then on a higher side, I think all the negatives have been already been discounted. Short term, it might fall by another 10% or so. But for a long-term investor looking for a 2 years time horizon, I think one can continue to hold.
From Venkatesh, he's writing to us from Bangalore. One more for you, Rajesh. He wants to know about Colgate. He's purchased a counter at a price of 2,835 rupees per share, and this based on the Q4 earnings, which means that it's a very recent buy coming in for him for Colgate. Now he wants to know what's your advice on the stock. Does it make sense to stay put with this one for the longer term, given the fact that Colgate is a very formidable name in its space, isn't it? And globally also worldwide known. But what's your take coming in on this one? Fundamentally, do you think that it has more headroom?
See, if somebody is a long-term player, stocks like Colgate, HUL, these are a must-hold in a long-term portfolio. With there may be some amount of correction in these stocks because of market conditions, but in the longer-term horizon, they gave a CAGR return of 15% or so. So I think if one is a long-term investor, one can continue to hold.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Colgate. But on that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. But here's a quick programming note for all of our viewers out there. Remember that tomorrow is the 4th Wednesday of the month, and therefore we will be having the women's special on Buy Now, Sell Now with a sharper focus on women's investment goal, and the queries will be answered by our experts. So yes, tomorrow is the 4th Wednesday of the month. So ladies out there, tomorrow it's your day. So do write to us with all of your queries and we will get them addressed with our experts. But on that note, for now, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now.
Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now, and let's keep it going with all your stock-related queries. We have a lot of queries trickling in, and the next query that I have is coming in on ITC. Quanry actually has got 500 shares of ITC and a buy price is 189 rupees. What's your take on this one, Rajesh? She's holding ITC from quite an attractive price, and she's at this has been almost a doubler, but you still believe that this will give good returns to her in the times ahead?
I believe he must be watching ET now from a very long period of time, since I have been recommending Shekhar must be knowing this. Anyways, ITC, it's an ad from our side at this point of time too, at these prices too. Giving good dividends, strong balance sheet, numbers have been pretty good, cigarette volumes are going up, cash positive balance sheet. They are focusing on dairy business. Everything is going in favor of this company. I think it has a long way to go still from these levels. Maybe some consolidation might take place in the short-term period, but for a longer-term investor, it's a buy from our side.
You know, Rajesh, I believe the viewer, if they've tuned in right now, they would have had a feeling of deja vu maybe, because ITC is still a buy for you. In fact, you, like you said, you had a buy on this one, even sub 250 levels. I think just when the stock was going ahead and gathering momentum is when you gave a buy call. At 434, still a buy call.
We gave a buy call around 150, 160 odd levels.
Yes.
Nobody was listening to the calls, I would say. Everybody was like it written off sort of thing.
Up the building in Kolkata to see you scream from the rooftops. No, that's the reason why maybe they did not realize that it's an emphatic buy coming in for ITC. But nevertheless, again, a buy call coming in from Rajesh on ITC. But Rajesh, another query for you is on Deepak Fertilizer. We have a senior citizen who's writing to us, Mr. MSV Raghavan. He wants to know whether he can buy right now and hold on for the next 2 years.
Yes, of course, one can go ahead and buy. The company prices, market cap has seen a lot of cut in the last 1 year or so, almost half from the higher levels. And I think all the negatives have been discounted. The capex has been done. Going forward, the company is likely to do well. So maybe after 1 or 2 quarters, we might see some sharp turnaround in numbers too. For a longer term horizon, one can go ahead and buy.
That's the take coming in on Deepak Fertilizers. Moving on, and the next query is on LIC Housing Finance. Kush, your take on this one. Girish Iyer is holding 10,000 shares, and actually his buy price is 677 rupees. He's currently at a loss. What to do in this one, and any targets as well to look out for?
Well, I think the first thing that he'd need is a stop loss. So a couple of support zones that could act as a stop loss for him will be 620 being the first one, and the second one being, let me just round it off for him to 600. Actually, it comes a little lower than that. So 620 to 600, that zone should be a stop loss for him, considering the position size that he's taken. Now, from a near-term perspective, I think there could be some pressure on the stock that could continue. If it is above, if it is able to sustain above the 50-day moving average of 635, then you could see the stock heading to 670, which is his buying price. In any case, a move much higher than that from a near-term perspective looks a little difficult. So my suggestion would be hold on to this with a strict stop loss. As in, when you get the buying price, exit partially and then hold the rest for targets of 695.
This one has come from Shaurya from Gurgaon, and he wants to know, is it the good time to enter HDFC Bank for the long term? Rajesh, on your behalf, should I say it's a yes, or do you have another view or a deferred view saying that you should wait for some more correction to creep into this counter?
See, for a long-term investor, you can never time the market. It may correct more, it might not correct more. So it's better to, if you're a long-term investor, go ahead and buy. It's a very strong bank, I would say. It hasn't performed in the very long period of time. The numbers have been pretty good. So one of the top 5 banks in the world now after the merger. And I have seen some kind of pressure, but that will be taken care of once rate cut happens. We believe that in FY25, the bank is going to report around 80,000 odd crores of profit, and that's huge, I would say. It's a strong buy from our side.
All right, HDFC Bank, a strong buy. Still moving on, the next query, Kush, is on Campus Activewear. Viewer named Imran Alam from Kolkata is looking to invest 1 lakh rupees in Campus Activewear. So, A, will that be a good strategy? And the next query, if yes, then can you suggest the entry levels and the targets in the short term for the same?
Sure. So, look, I'm assuming that he'll have portfolio, position sizing and the allocations and the weightages, everything, in place when he gives us an amount. And assuming that that is not his entire portfolio or maybe even a big chunk of it. So that's the only thing that I would like to say on a portfolio level. Now, from a stock specific perspective, it's a good idea to perhaps go ahead and invest money in Campus Activewear at the current juncture, because the stocks actually rebounded quite smartly from those 210 levels, around late March, and is holding above those levels. Even if I see on the weekly chart, and it's just crossed some of the key resistance zones and is nicely holding on to that. While momentum could be a bit of an issue, the trajectory right now is pointing north. So from a near-term target of 275, and once that is taken out, you can look at a 295 also as the next target. Campus Activewear does fit the bill. As I said, just keep the portfolio and the position size in mind, and the momentum could perhaps take some time coming in. A strict stop loss here would come in at 245.
All right, Kush, coming right back to you. Sudha wants to know which stock to buy today. Is it Vinati Organics, RITES, or JB Chemicals, and what sort of an NT price? And if she buys today, she wants to hold it for the next 2 years.
Well, a lot of these are good names. Why not go ahead and divide the money in a couple of them rather than betting on just one of them? A more prudent way from a risk reward perspective, or rather a risk management perspective as well. I like both. I like Vinati Organics as well, and I like RITES also. So you could perhaps deploy part of your capital in Vinati and part in REITs. REITs is showing a rebound, which is a good sign, suggesting the strength at lower levels. From a 2 year, or from rather a 1 to 2 year perspective, 850 is, I think, a very reasonable target on REITs. As far as Vinati goes, has been a wealth creator for some time, but then off late it's seen a sharp decline. I think once the glory days, come back, the stock could head to 1900, 1950 odd levels also. So a prudent strategy, as I said, would be to to invest partly in both of them.
Right, but with this, viewers, let's kickstart taking all your queries in the rapid fire session. And the first query is for you, Rajesh. Your view on Cafe Coffee Day. Raghavendra is already holding the shares from a price of 70 rupees. In the long run, do you believe that this could be a good story and the good company to invest in?
Avoid from us.
All right, this one is coming in from Sudeep on Anupam Rasayan, 600 shares at a price of 865 rupees per share. Kush, any chances of this one going to the buy price, or should you go ahead and book losses?
Hold with a stop loss of 760 to give yourself a remote chance.
All right, Kush, your view on Rosari Biotech. Lakshmi from Hyderabad holding 50 shares, average price is 925 rupees. Can hold for long term, average or hold?
Hold.
All right, this one is coming in from our viewer. Okay, this one, let me take this one from Karthik from Bangalore. Wants to know if there is uptrend still intact in Dabur and Marico, or should he look to exit, Kush?
Well, I think you could exit both of them.
All right, Rajesh, your view on Thermax. Mahalakshmi is holding 15 shares. Buy price is 4,540 rupees. Good to book out profits or continue to hold on?
If it's a long-term investment, continue to hold.
A tricky question then for you, Kush. Our viewer has a lump sum amount, wants to know to go ahead and invest now or wait for June 4th. And the investment ideas are Shobha Developers, HPCL.
Well, broadly from a strategy perspective, I would say, hold for 4th June and a little beyond as well. The market might perhaps end up making a near-term top, after the election results are announced, either which way.
All right, Rajesh, your view on two banking names, Canara Bank as well as Karnataka Bank. Any of the stock that you like at this point in time for a long-term investment? This question is from Yuvraj.
Both are a buy from by our side.
All right, and with that, actually, we come to the end of the rapid fire. Thank you so much, Kush, as well as Rajesh, for joining us on the show and taking all of our viewer queries and waiting by patiently. And with that, viewers, we are totally out of time. So it's a goodbye from Srishti, myself, and the team that put the show together. But let's not forget, tomorrow is a women's special edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. So stay tuned for tomorrow, 11 a.m.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.